What's up, interweb? RhyQuinn here, and welcome to my GPC Week 6 game against Gareth and the Crawthorne Crabhammers. Apologies if this is going up late, I'm not sure if it is or not. As you can tell from the sound of my voice, I'm a little bit ill right now, which is why this might be going up late, because I've been putting off recording because my throat really hurt and I didn't want to make it any worse. But I figured I'd just record anyway, because screw it, right? I've had a couple of days of resting, so I'm hoping it shouldn't be too bad today. But so bear with me if I start coughing mid-recording and all that stuff. We have got the match against Gareth, like I said, in the Crawthorne Crabhammers. If you haven't seen my team analysis video, make sure to go down in the description and check that out. You can see my team in more detail and why I brought what sets I have in fact brought. Real quick, my team is a fairly standard Mega Pidgeot. I've got a physically offensive Hitmontop, a Choice Specs Gengar, a pretty memey physically offensive Heal Block Thundurus, physically defensive Vaporeon, and a specially defensive Uxie. And that team was built to take on my opponent's potential team, which is Mega Latias, Azumarill, Skarmory, Nidoqueen, Rotomcut, Durant, Umbreon, Delphox, Primeape, Rampardos, and Sandshrew. And you can see that they have elected to bring to this game Mega Latias, Rampardos, Umbreon, Skarmory, Rotomcut, and Azumarill. So, all the bulk that I was worried about in the form of Mega Latias, Umbreon, and Skarmory, they brought it all, which is very unfortunate. I was pretty much expecting that Rotom to be Scarfed, to be able to check my Mega Pidgeot. The Azumarill, wasn't sure. I was still maybe potentially considering Belly Drum. I wasn't sure at this point. And I had various ways to try and deal with various things, so we're going to have to try and see how it plays out. So without further ado, let's get right into the game and let's see how things go. So, I'm going to elect to lead with my Gengar, as he decides to lead with his Rotom, and he can't risk me being Scarfed, basically, so he's going to go out into his Umbreon, so I'm just going to click Shadow Ball, and I can see that Umbreon is his dedicated switch into my Gengar, so I know the next time it comes in, I can click Trick, and I can trick my Choice Specs onto this Umbreon, and that'll be great. Now I'm going to switch out into my Hitmontop, as he goes actually for the Baton Pass, getting the initiative into his Azumarill, which is a great play on his part, because I can't really touch this Azumarill with my Hitmontop. Now I'm going to go into my Vaporeon, which is mostly physically defensive, and that Play Rough does so much damage. Oh my god, Azumarill. That is banded as hell. That is Adamant Banded, and that is like a max roll as well, off Adamant Banded Azumarill. So I don't really like that. I don't like that one bit. That's very scary. But I do have enough speed on this Vaporeon to outspeed a max speed Adamant Azumarill, so I know I'm going to outspeed him right now. And I'm basically just sacking off my Vaporeon, because my Vaporeon is my dedicated switch-in to Azumarill, and as you can see, that's not a switch-in, not even a little bit. So basically all I want to do is try and scold him, get a burn, and then basically just sack off my Vaporeon, because it's not really doing much this game, considering it's switching to a thing that isn't really a switch-in at all. So, I'm just going to fire off a Scald. But he is actually going to elect to switch out here into his Rotom, which is a good play on his part. I'm just going to go for the Scald, do a little bit of chip damage, no burn. Now I'm going to switch out, preserve my Vaporeon as potential Death Flutter against the Azumarill, force him to go for, Play Rough instead of a Water Move, because I can take that. And I know he's going to go for Volt Switch, so I'm going to go out into my Thundurus, because I know I can take it pretty comfortably, as he's going to go out into his Umbreon. Now, this play here, he's almost on full health, yes. What I expected from him here was to go for Wish, to scout out what my Thundurus wanted to do. Because I know that might have been a risky play on his part, because I could potentially set up a sub, could have gone for like a nasty plot, something like that, in his eyes. But I felt like his play right now was to go for Wish, because Thundurus can't really touch Umbreon all that much on its own, without setup. So I felt like he would have wished and then potentially passed it into something that could deal with the Thundurus, or he could have wished and then just tried to whip me down another way. So I was pretty certain that he was going to wish right now. So what I ended up doing is going for Heal Block, because it was my meme of the week, I wanted to use it, and I wanted to prevent him from going for a Wish. So I'm going to go for a Heal Block, and we'll see how it turns out. So he's blocked from healing, but he just goes for a Foul Play, and he just knocks out my Thundurus. And I got very sad, because Thundurus was pretty important in this game. Was that a bad play on my part? Yes, because I really shouldn't have risked my Thundurus like that, but I was adamant he was going for Wish that turn. I really thought he was going for Wish that turn. And I didn't think, for some, obviously Foul Play is going to knock me out because I'm a physically offensive Thundurus, but for some reason in my head I was thinking that Foul Play wouldn't even knock me out anyway, so I was pretty safe in going for Heal Block. Bad play, but I was sure he was going for Wish that turn. If he'd have gone for Wish, I would have been so happy, because he would have been prevented from the Wish on that turn, and then I could have U-turned out on the following, and everything would have been grand. But alas, my Thunderous goes down, and now the only ways I have to touch Mega Latias are special. If that's a Calm Mind Mega Latias, things aren't looking very good. So, now Thunderous goes down, and I'm going to bring in my Hitmontop, because obviously I can just knock out this Umbreon from here, but he's going to pull a switch out into his Skarmory, so I'm just going to fire for close combat, and it does a solid amount, 39% to this Skarmory. And obviously at -1 defense, I don't want to be taking any kind of flying hit, so I'm going to go into my Mega Pidgeot, as he's just going to like to get up his rocks. Now, what this allows me to do is get off my Mega Evolution. I can just click Heat Wave, and this Skarmory actually just dies, which is fantastic. So Skarmory's out of the way, awesome. One of the bulky things I was worried about out of the way, but in comes the Rotom, and obviously the way he's brought it in means it's Scarfed. So I'm going to go into my Uxie, because I'm especially defensive, I can take any hit. Just going to go for the Volt Switch, get initiative out, and he's going to go on out into his Mega Latias. Now, I have enough speed investment on this Uxie to outspeed an uninvested Mega Latias. If it's just straight up bulk, I outspeed him. And the reason I have that speed investment is to prevent Mega Latias from setting up a sub on me, because that would be no bueno for me. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. Alright, sorry about that. As I was saying, enough speed investment on Uxie to outspeed uninvested Mega Latias, because I didn't want him setting up a sub on me. And I felt like at this point, I probably should have seen that he had a lot of offense with the Rampardos, obviously offensive, the Scarf Rotom, the Banded Azumarill, and the Umbreon the Skarmory, pretty bulky. So what I was thinking at this point is that what I was thinking was he was most likely going to be a bulky setup, probably Calm Mind Mega Latias. That was my thought. What I wanted to do was test the waters, see if I could outspeed this Mega Latias with this Uxie, and get off a Yawn. And I know that's a risky play, because if he goes for a sub right now, Yawn will fail, and then I have a Mega Latias at full health behind a substitute, and that's no bueno. But I felt like it was worth the risk, because if I Yawn him, he forces him out, he can't set up, and things will be looking great. And it allows me to gauge his speed as well, because if I outspeed him, I know he's uninvested. So, I'm going to go for the Yawn here. And he's going to Mega Up, he's going to outspeed me, and he's going to get off a sub, which is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Yawn's going to fail, and now I'm really, really spooked. And just to cap it all off, I'm going to go for the U-turn this turn, but he goes for a Calm Mind, exactly what I was fearing. Sub Calm Mind Mega Latias. Now I'm going to U-turn, it's not even going to break the sub, because I don't have enough attack investment on this Uxie. I'm going to go into my Mega Pidgeot, I've got to sack it off here. I'm just going to go for a Hurricane to break the sub, allow me to bring in the Gengar next turn as he kills me off with the Dragon Pulse. There was nothing else I could do in that situation, if I'm honest. If I was him, I probably would have gone for another Calm Mind, because why not, right? But now I'm going to bring in the Gengar. Shadow Ball wouldn't have taken him out, but he didn't know that, and he's going to go out into his Umbreon. Again, I could have gone for the trick expecting the Umbreon, but I didn't want to risk it, because at that point I was thinking that he might have just like roosted or elected to kill my Gengar. So now I'm going to go out into my Hitmontop, as he's going to go for the Baton Pass once again, and he's going to go on out into his Azumarill. I don't have a switch in, so I'm just going to sack off my Vaporeon here. And he's going to go for the player off, but he actually misses his player off, which is fantastic. Allows me to get off a Scald against him, potentially burn him, which is great. So let's see if we can get that off. Gonna fire off a Scald. No burn. No burn against his Azumarill. He's going to get off the player off and knock me out. So that miss on the player off didn't really matter too much. Just allowed me to get a little bit of chip damage on him, which really in the end doesn't really matter. Now he's going to bring in the Azumarill. I know he's going down to the Umbreon this time, so I'm going to click Trick as he brings in the Umbreon. Just what I wanted. I give him the specs to Umbreon now, which is great. I'm going to get some lefties, and now I'm going to click Toxic, get a Toxic on this Umbreon, and Synchronize obviously does not poison me back, which is awesome. He's going to click Foul Play though, do a lot of damage to me, but after some lefties, I know I can live like another couple rock switch-ins, so I'm looking okay. Now I'm going to switch out, knowing he's locked into Foul Play, I'm going to go into my Hitmontop, because obviously I resist the Foul Play. Still does pretty decent damage though, because I am physically offensive. But now, he's just going to sack off his Umbreon, as I'm going to go for close combat. At this point, all I'm trying to do is lower the differential, because I know Mega Latias just wins. So, now he brings in his Rotom, and I'm just going to go for Mach Punch, get as much damage as I can off against it. He's going to go for the Volt Switch, he's going to crit me and knock me out. I don't know if that crit mattered, I am at -1 special defense, so we'll have to see if that mattered or not, who knows. Now he's going to bring in the Azumarill, and I just kind of lose at this point. I'm going to bring in my Uxie. I'm going to go for the Yawn, just in case he wanted to, like, I don't know why I went for Yawn, reasons. I don't really have much else to do, so why not? Does reveal the knockoff, and at this point I was like, well, I'm screwed. In comes the Gengar. I'm just going to go for Destiny Bonds, just to try and lower the differential as much as possible. But he's going to switch out into his Rotom, And then on the following turn, I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball, expecting him to, you know, not attack me because my Destiny Bond's still up, and that is exactly what happens. He tricks me a Scarf, and I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball and knock out this Rotom right now. But I know the Azumarill has Aqua Jet, and it's just going to come and click Aqua Jet, and he's going to knock out my Gengar from there, and that is going to be a 3-0 loss for me in Week 6 of the GPC. So very well played on Gareth's part. That was a really good, well thought out, well played match on his part. He brought exactly the things he needed to and pressured me in the right way. I shouldn't have risked my Thundurus like I did. I guess I got too wrapped up in the meme, but I feel like at the same time, like, I genuinely thought he was going for Wish that turn, just to try and scout out what my Thundurus wanted to do to that Umbreon. So, you know, I still maintain that was the play I would have made, regardless. But maybe I should have just gone for a U-turn and got some chip damage and gone out to something else, I don't know. Excuse me. But, yeah, at the end of the day, he just brought the stuff that pressured me way too much. Banded Azumarill, I didn't have a switch in. The Mega Latias, I had nothing for. And I don't think that was any problem of my prep as a whole. It was the fact that it's a Mega Latias, and nothing on my squad really dealt with it too much. Like, seriously, a physically offensive Expert Belt Crunch from a Thundurus still only had a chance to 2-hit KO a max HP Mega Latias. Not even physically defensive, max HP Mega Latias. It was only a chance to 2-hit KO from a max attack Expert Belt Crunch from a Thundurus. That is absolutely ridiculous. But, regardless, I'm not salty that Mega Latias is allowed in this league. Not at all. No, it's a very good game with my opponent's part. Make sure to go down in the description and check out links to my opponent. It'd be very much appreciated. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm not sure who we're playing next week because the person who I'm playing might be dropping out, so I'm not 100% sure on the details right now. But, regardless, stay tuned for the next GPC game that's coming up soon. Thank you for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you guys sometime soon. Toodaloo.